The learning outcomes of this module is in the last module we have all learned about the different divisions of forensic science laboratories and different tools and techniques used in forensic science laboratories. But now we'll be discussing the process of accreditation of forensic science laboratory and learn more about the organizational and quality management system. Introduction. These laboratories are organized and operated in such a way that they meet the requirements of accreditation while performing in their permanent, temporary and mobile facilities. All the forensic science laboratories are headed by a director who has undergone the scientific training for few years and has a laboratory experience. In comparatively bigger laboratories, the director is assisted by additional or joint director, which may be technical, and an administrative officer, which is non-technical in nature. All the divisions are headed by deputy director. Deputy directors are having research experience of several years in various aspects of forensic science. The head of the division is assisted by assistant director, senior and junior scientific officer, senior and junior scientific assistant, and finally laboratory assistant and attendants. Non-technical staff carries out clerical work, maintenance of stores, supplies, and maintenance of duties. The laboratory must be properly secure and is properly guarded against the theft and loss of crime exhibits. Now let us try to understand the module with the help of visuals and graphics.
Introduction. In India, the Board for National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories (NABL) is responsible for accreditation of forensic science laboratories on the basis of the recommendations made by the technical committees and evaluation panels. NABL system is grounded on the ISO IEC 17011 for certification bodies. The detailed requirements and procedures have been laid down on the basis of ISO IEC 17025 2005 to test the competence of testing and calibration of a laboratory has been issued as follows. The work in forensic science laboratories being interdisciplinary in nature, there was a need to develop and supplement the general criteria for laboratory accreditation for the purpose of accrediting forensic science laboratories. Presently, a specific criteria for certification of forensic science laboratories has been evolved by a technical board precisely created for the purpose. It supplements the above document ISO IEC 170252005 and provides specific guidance for the accreditation of forensic science laboratories for assessors as well as the laboratories who are preparing for accreditation. This, in turn, helps in achieving the following objectives by defining the purpose and nature of the program. The quality of laboratory services provided to criminal justice system show improvement. To progress and preserve standards which can be used by a laboratory to evaluate its level of presentation and to support its operations. To deliver a self-governing, neutral and unprejudiced system by which laboratories can be promoted through an entire functioning review. to propose to the universal civic and operators of the research laboratory amenities a means of recognizing those laboratories which have verified so that they meet the conventional standards. Scope of accreditation. In forensic science, two types of investigations have been carried out. One is crime scene investigation, which includes recognition, collection, and packaging of evidence, and second is laboratory investigation, which includes the examination of the evidence collected and sent to forensic science lab, interpretation of results, and presentation of the conclusions in the form of report for investigations and intelligent purpose. This field involves examination of wide range of terms and substances. The success of laboratory investigation depends fully upon the accuracy with which the crime scene investigation was conducted. Many other factors also play an important role. The testimony in court of law is based on a combination of school learning and on the job training. Because both criteria can be quite variable, the confidence in the interpretation of results may also be quite variable. Formal recognition is required that a particular testing laboratory is competent to carry out specific tests or specific types of tests and may also include recognition of both the mechanical proficiency and neutrality in a testing laboratory. The scope of accreditation of NABL is applicable to the following disciplines areas of activity in the forensic science laboratories: 1. Chemistry, 2. Toxicology, 3. Biology, 4. Serology, 5. DNA fingerprinting, 6. Physics, 7. Ballistics, 8. Question documents, 9. Explosives, 10. Forensic psychology, 11. Fingerprints, 12. Narcotics, 13. Forensic electronic investigation, 14. Crime scene investigation. Additional disciplines like computer and cybercrime and forensic accountancy, etc., may be added for accreditation in future as per requirement. Quality policy statement. The laboratory shall identify the policies and objectives to be achieved by implementing the management system as per the requirements of ISO IEC 17025-2005. The objectives shall be set out in a quality policy statement issued under the authority of the director or chief of the laboratory. Organization and management general. The forensic science laboratories of which it is a part shall be lawfully recognizable, where the forensic science laboratory is part of a parent organization. The position of the forensic science laboratory in the overall organizational structure must be documented, for example, by using organizational charts. The laboratory management shall clearly define and document the type and extent of the forensic science services it provides and must ensure that the laboratory will not involve in any of such actions that might reduce faith in its capability, impartiality, judgment, or operative reliability, and The laboratory personnel will not indulge themselves into commercial, financial, or any other irregularity that might undesirably affect the quality of their work. The organizational structure to increase the efficiency and correct any discrepancy in the laboratory operation, the director of the laboratory must group the work and employees in a way that confirms the interrelations of various forensic disciplines. The laboratory shall generally use only those personnel who shall ensure that all the accreditation criteria are met. The laboratory must define and document in the form of descriptions of jobs and organizational charts the responsibility, authority, and their interrelation of all personnel who manage or perform work and ultimately affecting the quality of the forensic science services. The laboratory must have mechanical management structure who are responsible for the mechanical operations and the delivery of the assets needed to confirm the required quality of laboratory operations. The technical management shall also be responsible for ensuring that the accreditation requirements are met. Quality manager. Any of the supervisory staff members of the laboratories be appointed as the quality manager who, irrespective of other responsibilities, shall be accountable for guaranteeing that an excellent system is established, applied, and sustained. The requirement for the quality manager is that he should have received training in quality assurance concepts and techniques. To be effective, the quality manager shall have a direct access to the highest level of the management at which the decisions are taken to implement the policies of the laboratory. The scope of the responsibilities and the authority must clearly be articulated and should include the following. Quality manual of the laboratory must be maintained properly. Proper evaluation, calibration, and maintenance of records of all the instruments. Ensuring the validation of new technical procedures. Investigation of technical problems and proposal of remedial actions to be implemented. Administration of proficiency testing and evaluation of results. Selection, training, and evaluation of internal auditors. Scheduling and coordination of quality system audits. Maintenance of training records of laboratory personnel. Monitoring of laboratory practices to verify continuing compliance with policies and procedures. Recommendation of training to improve the quality of laboratory staff. Proposal of corrections and improvement to the quality system. Delegation of authority. The authority of the laboratory, the director, must be well defined. The laboratory director must have authority commensurate with his or her responsibilities. There must be adequate delegation of specialists to administration or directorial staff balanced with their duties. Each subordinate must be accountable to immediate supervisor. Performance expectations must be well established and fully understood by the laboratory personnel. As managerial responsibilities increase in scope and complexity, delegation of authority down the organization becomes necessary. In every organization, it is important that the person assigned responsibilities for the efficient and effective performance of the specific functions be delegated with appropriate and well defined authority to act or direct the actions of others. Supervisors are supposed to review the laboratory activity, methods, and personnel carefully and objectively. Communication. Good communication is always essential for effective operation of the lab. To have good communication, a well-defined channel of vertical, horizontal, and diagonal of communications must be present within and outside the laboratory. Vertical channels of communication must be used for administrative functions. Hours of duty, leave, and grievances of the employee must be properly documented. Staff meetings and other channels of communication must be maintained on regular basis. The coordination between the technical and scientific staff facilitate the functioning of the lab and help in the dissemination of technical information. Administration. The laboratory must have a well-defined budget and management information system which assist in the achieving of its objectives. Reporting officers essentially have access to all such information upon which the decisions can be based. Information can be most easily developed by and derived from a management information system. A management information system is a system for the gathering, manipulation, storage, and retrieval of information related to budget and other to assist laboratory management in determining how much effectively and efficiently the laboratory is operating to achieve the goals and objectives. Quality management system. This is most urgent for the forensic science laboratory to establish, implement, and maintain an effective quality management system to monitor the forensic science activities undertaken by the lab. The quality must spell out policies and procedures addressing all the criteria detailed in these accreditation requirements. Documentation, quality manual. All basics of the laboratory's quality system has to be documented properly, which consists of all policies, systems framed, programs started, procedures and protocols adopted and necessary instructions, etc. The quality system will be part of a quality manual and will be maintained by the quality manager. The quality scheme's credentials shall be eagerly available to all the employees working in the lab. The management of criminal justice involves intensive measures to be accepted so as to ensure the inclusive quality of scientific findings. To accomplish this, laboratory management continue to have confidence on the quality system for various disciplines whose results and conclusions are accurate, impartial, and relevant. The success of the quality system depends on the commitment of the management and active participation of each member of the laboratory scientific staff. The laboratory establish and maintain documented procedures to control all documents, which includes manuals, workbooks, worksheets, charts, posters, notices, drawings, plan software, standard operating procedures, etc., and information that relates to its quality system. Documents maintained in computerized system should also be considered. Records. All the records required by its quality system are maintained by the forensic science laboratory, which will also be required by the accreditation criteria include case records, management review records, staff training records, quality assurance records, including quality control, proficiency testing, court testimony monitoring, corrective action, equipment maintenance, and calibration records, and complaints. The laboratory must formulate and document its policies for the identification, collection, access, storage, maintenance, and records of disposed items, whatever be their kind and format. All archives shall be readable and shall be stored and reserved in such a way that they are readily retrievable in facilities that provide an appropriate environment to prevent damage, deterioration, or loss. All records must be accompanied by the identity of the person making the record. All remarks and calculations shall be made by a personalized solitary strikeout. Nothing in the handwritten evidence is to be obliterated or erased. Corrections to results, data, etc., stored on computer must also be recorded. Retention times must be established and documented for all records, but will not be less than 3 years. Central and/or state legislative judicial necessities may demand the preservation of archives for longer stages. Case records. The laboratory have to maintain a case record under unique case designator, generally a laboratory case number, and documentation generated by a laboratory on a particular case constitute a case record. Computers. Today, computers are used for performing various types of work like capturing, processing, manipulation, recording, reporting, storage, or retrieval of test or examination data or other information pertaining to a case. The laboratory must ensure that the requirements of the accreditation criteria are met, appropriate procedures has been implemented to maintain the integrity and the security of the data, including the prevention from unauthorized access to and alteration in computer records. Computer software is validated or otherwise checked as being satisfactory for use.
Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned in this module. Requirements of the Board of National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. NABL must be strictly adhered to get any FSL accredited. All the records required by its quality system like case record, management review, record, staff training record, quality assurance record, including quality control, proficiency testing, code testimony, monitoring, corrective action, equipment, maintenance, and calibration record. And the complaints, whatever we have received, must be maintained by forensic science laboratory. To increase the efficiency and to correct any discrepancy in the laboratory operation, the director should make a sincere effort to make all the scientists work in a coordinated way. Thank you.